Hello. I have to share with you the cutest, most fun card. And I can't even take credit for the idea of how this paper was cut and designed. I was on Pinterest and YouTube, which is a fabulous way to get different ideas for Stampin' Up sets. And this card was designed by Marcy Dennings, who's a fellow demonstrator. Um, she designed her card utilizing actually the little fox that's in this set. And I kind of changed it up a bit to be my own, to make it the bear. I'd never seen this fancy fold done before. To be completely honest with you, it uses an amazing amount of cardstock. So it's for like a very special, I was kind of like cards that use lots of paper and are really heavy need to have a special recipient or a special soul. But this Happier Than Happy stamp set along with the coordinating die set is fabulous, especially if you're looking at giving a card to a little person, whether it's a baby welcome card, or I even feel like a 1 or 2, maybe age 3 birthday gift. Personally, if I got this card, I'd be so totally thrilled, mostly because of the fact that it's this amazing fold and the bear is adorable. So it actually, I don't know if you can kind of see her online. It stands up like this. When it's folded and closed, it goes like that. And then it opens up completely to show you the inside. And I think like tons of designer series paper, and I'll show you in a minute. Basically, this, it's not a Z, it's like a 1, 2, 3. I don't even, whatever shape this is. This is a piece of paper all in this one self, and then it's attached to this back piece, just to give you a sense of that. I also, in addition, used the decorative tag dies, which I won't even lie, are also becoming, designer tag dies, which are becoming one of my favorite things. And this one uses the Happy Forest Friends designer series paper. That's what's behind here. And then we're going to do a fun technique to with the blending brushes to do the sky and the grass. So lots of fun things ahead. I did already, for the purposes of this video and making it a little bit less lengthy, I did already do a lot of my stamping and die cutting. Okay, so this is an 8.5. Not sure if you can see here. Maybe I'll raise this just a little bit. Sorry if it's going to give you seasickness. Maybe that's a bit better, so you can see the whole thing. There you go, just barely. Okay, so this is an 8.5, 11 piece of paper cut in half at, so this is the piece of paper cut in half at 4¼ inches wide by 11 inches long. And then you're going to take your scoring tool and score at 2 inches, at 3 3/4, at 7 1/4, and 9 inches. I'm just going to check this is not, yep, 9 inches. Okay, so again, 2 inches, 3 3/4 inches, 7 1/4, and 9 inches. So you're going to score at all of those points. The reason you don't see me doing this is I've actually already pre-scored. I can run it through one more time there. Then you're going to take your piece of paper. You're going to fold. There's like 1, 2 scores. So you're going to fold in on the second one. You should have, if you have a ruler or a bone folder, it's going to give you that crisp edge. That works really well. One of these days, I'm going to have all my tools in the right place. Okay, so I'm bending in there. I'm doing the same on the opposite side. Score it. And then I'm going to take, so now I have those both creased. Fold this one in, and then I'm going to fold back. I'm going to fold this one in again and fold back. So it's folded in like that, opens like that. Okay. And I'm going to set that a little bit off to the side. Now, the one thing I did do a little bit different than the demonstrator that I've watched online is that I actually wanted to save. I wanted to do kind of a bit of a paper saving technique, and no one's going to know. And it also actually makes it easier for when you're doing all of your cuts, because then basically all 4 of these panels are all the same. So no one's going to see the paper that's behind here, right? Like that's going to be behind this piece, which is actually quite a large section. So why have designer series paper that's expensive back there? So the Calypso Coral measures at 4 inches by 1 3/4. That's this piece. And then the designer series paper measures at 3 3/4 inches by 1 1/2. So designer series paper is 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. The Calypso Coral is 4 inches by 1 3/4. So now I'm just going to glue all of my designer series paper onto my coordinating Calypso Coral portions here. Just like that. Okay. Then we need this back piece. So this back piece is 1/4 of a piece of cardstock. So it measures 5 1/2 inches, 5 1/2 inches this way by 4 1/4 inches this way. So this is now the trick where you want to pay attention when you're gluing it on, is you want to glue it on. We're going to glue this one on the right-hand side, this one on the left-hand side, and we're going to glue it so that you can kind of see that the top and the bottom are evenly spaced, and that on the right-hand side, that coordinates as well. So you kind of get that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And do the same on the left-hand side. They just ran out of adhesive. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there. Now, you know me, I love Stampin' Snail adhesive, or something that is just a double-sided tape adhesive. But for this, I'm actually going to use the Tombow glue. And the reason for that is that now you're going to take this piece, flip it upside down. So this is the side that opens, flip it upside down. I'm going to put glue all on this panel. The reason I'm going to use the glue versus the snail adhesive is that when you get this down, you have a little bit of wiggle room to move it left or right for a couple of minutes before it glues on. Because if you use this other adhesive, it's kind of a one-shot deal, which isn't wrong either, just this movement. Now you could measure this, but I feel like I can eyeball it pretty good. So I feel like I'm even to the left and the right there. I'm just going to pause this 1 second while I go grab my adhesive. Okay, so now we're recording again. Got my refill of my adhesive. So next, I'm going to glue on my outer panels. I like to glue on my outer panels once I already have that background section glued on. And the reason for that is then there's no oopsies. I glued my front panel onto the back panel. Mistakes. So I'm going to put those on like that. You can see it's already like coming together. Super cute with the little mushrooms. Okay. Next here, I have this inside panel. Now this is 3 1/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall. So 4 inches tall by 3 1/4 inches wide. And I have my little green grass hill and my 2 cute little mushroom stamps. So I'm going to stamp the little hill in old olive. I guess I didn't mention that. The background paper is old olive in color. And then I'm going to use Calypso Coral, which is the same color on this designer series paper. So we're going to be all matchy tonight. I'm going to see if I can like stamp my mushrooms on the hill. Didn't turn out too badly. Okay. Mushrooms are on. Then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back here. And pop this in the inside. Okay, that's in there. Now for the cute little bear panel. So this is again is using the designer tags and the blending brushes. So I have one brush in green, which I'm going to use the old olive, and then I have one brush in the balmy blue. So the couple of tricks that I've learned with these blending brushes is that it works much better. I'm going to take my blending brush and kind of just gently tap it in the ink and kind of start on the paper. You have to be on a completely flat surface. If you end up having something, say underneath, like this, I'm going to use this envelope as an example, and there's a ridge, it's going to capture that ridge, just like when you were in elementary school and we're doing, I don't know what you call it, when you ran a crayon over top, right? Kind of getting that, there's another crafting for that, but you know what I mean, right? So the blending brush, you're going to move in a circular motion. Now you don't want to start right in the middle, I found, because I find that then sometimes you get a clump of like color right away. You can always go over it again, but I typically start, maybe here I don't have quite enough color. But I want to get kind of that bulk of that color off first and then go on. Now the really good news is the bear is quite big. So if you're doing this at home and you don't love the left side or the right side, you can always use the bear to kind of hide the imperfections of the project. And then, this guy has variation in it. So it's not something that's meant to like be solid all the way across. So I'm not sure if you can see that there. There's subtle blue color there. You can see it, the white versus the blue. My evening light is not being my friend here right now at this moment. And then I'm going to do the same with the green grass. You can see how it's very dark there, right? So I don't want that to. And this is I'm kind of going for like a pastel-y look, right? So, and like I said, you can always kind of go back and add more color. You can't remove the color with this technique. I feel like I've done this a few times now and it's getting a little less scary. I'm getting a little bit better at it, a bit more confident. Okay, so now there you can see, now that I have the green on, you can see the contrast between the green grass and the blue sky. Now, I've already pre-stamped my little bear. Isn't he adorable? I used early espresso ink onto the crumb cake designer series paper. And then I stamped my little tree in old olive and then cut it out in old olive cardstock. And then the big tree doesn't actually have a coordinating stamp, so it's just just on its own. So I'm going to just use a little bit of Tombow glue. I'm just gonna glue. And like I said, you could like decide if you want your pair on the opposite side, depending how all of your blending went. To roll with the punches, right? And no one will ever know that perhaps it wasn't as you intentionally planned. They're just going to be wowed by this card. That's so amazing. Okay, I want my bear's feet to be on the grass, so his head is going to stick somewhat above the tag here. Now I did have, oh, here's my dimensionals. As you can see now, I guess I stamped him a couple times. He's so cute and waving, right? Now this set does come with some really cute coordinating sayings. Happier than happy with you. Hello, baby. Thanks. Welcome. So you could stamp those on the inside. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for quite yet. So I'm going to leave mine blank. And then I use the old roll of ribbon. And I'm just going to slip it through the holes on each end and just tie it into, it's not really a knot, right? You're not double tying it, just a single pull through, single knot. So I'm going to pull it through that way. And then I'm going to take and angle cut all of my ribbon. Okay. I have my front tag piece all done and put together. Now I'm going to only put dimensionals on the left-hand side because or else you're gluing your card completely shut. Now, because this has a little bit of pull on it, I think I'm actually going to put 3 dimensionals on there. And then I'm going to shut the card so that I can center it between the left and right sides. I'm going to press down on the left there with my dimensionals. And that's it. There's quite a few steps. But I think once you kind of get going, you can see that very logical and super cute. And like I said, it's kind of like a wow card. Definitely one for someone that's going to appreciate your time and efforts. Have a great night.